2018 has been a roller coaster in the weather department with several new records set throughout the year.
The 10 News weather team takes a look back at 2018.
We kicked off 2018 with the coldest New Year's in 90 years, and the chilly and mostly dry pattern continued through the rest of January. Rain and snowfall totals were less than half of the average, and January 2018 will go down in the record books as the 5th driest on record. Thankfully, the rain came in February, and in fact, we saw more rain in the first 7 days of the month than we had in all of January. Spring-like warmth accompanied the rain, and we had the earliest 80-degree day on record on the 21st, only the third time that Knoxville has had a temperature in the 80s in the month of February. February 2018 was the second warmest and the 11th wettest on record. What a contrast from cold and dry in January to warm and wet in February. The first 2 months of the year were record-setting, but for completely opposite reasons.
Winter made a comeback in March. We had on and off snow events for the first 3 weeks of the month, and at one point, Mount LeConte had over a foot of snow on the ground. Overall, March was cool and damp, and in fact, it was 2.3 degrees colder than February. Winter just wouldn't give up, and we stayed well below average into April. Spring finally arrived as we moved into May, and then, well, we went straight into summer. Remember that? A persistent pattern kept summer-like conditions in place as we had highs in the 80s, all but only 2 days of the month. May 2018 will actually go down as the second warmest on record. We had 1 week of dry and seasonable weather to start the month of June, but then the heat and humidity, it returned.
An unusually strong ridge of high pressure sent highs into the 90s and heat indices to near 100 degrees for much of the month of June. July was generally hot and dry until the 22nd. An upper-level low-pressure system brought rainy and cool weather to the region and even cold air funnels. August temperatures generally stayed below average, and it was very humid. We had a taste of fall at the end of August before the heat returned with a vengeance.
Summer just wouldn't give up as we moved into September. The remnants of 2 tropical systems and a series of slow-moving cold fronts kept things warm and wet. September 2018 was the 7th warmest and 7th wettest on record. October seemed to have an identity crisis. We had an unseasonably warm first half of the month, then cooler weather settled in. The fall colors were delayed by 2 whole weeks, but once the leaves started to change, they put on a stunning show. November started off with a bang. Severe storms brought widespread wind damage to East Tennessee on Election Day. Then winter came. November was cold and rainy and will go down as the 15th wettest and 22nd coolest on record. Overall, 2018 will be remembered for its above-average precipitation. We can't wait to see what 2019 has in store for us. Happy New Year, everyone.
All right, Todd, thank you. Happy New Year to you. And of course, the weather team will keep an eye on any records we may break in 2019.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
is this not unbelievable?
I'll tell you the quick story. So Robin and John were just standing at the weather wall, and Robin goes, "Look, a woolly worm." And I was like, "Yeah, right. Okay, April Fool's on New Year's Eve. That's funny." And there's actually a woolly worm.
And that is significant in the weather department because it can be a predictor among some for winter.
Yes. Now, a black woolly worm means a very harsh winter, which we are not seeing right now. And I'm going to leave this little guy on the desk so you guys keep an eye on him.
Okay. He's all curled up.
I scared him and he curled up into a ball. So, I'm sorry, little woolly worm. We just got too excited to see you. Okay, let's go ahead. I guess I should let the camera take the weather first.